Hi folks, Brian here. Sunday, May 11, 2025. As you can see, a different background here. I'm in my bug out trailer, my travel trailer. I might do a few videos here. It's very quiet, peaceful here. I'm away from any noise distractions. This evening's talk is going to be a little bit different. It's talking about your chance of surviving difficult times depends on the weakest link in your family unit when it comes to recognizing the times that we're going into and preparedness, being in a state of preparedness, seeking to relocate to better, find yourself a better safe locations. Now, some of us, like me, we want to relocate and to prepare for the times of the earth changes coming up, earth's upheavals. And to ensure, more importantly than that, that we do not end up into the beast system. And to ensure we don't get dragged into the beast system, but we're shackled down by resistant family members. Now, you can have knowledge, skills, abilities, but unless you can do it without resistance and with cooperation, well, that's a struggle. Take myself, for example. I have more knowledge than most people about growing your food and how to grow it and how to protect it from the ultraviolet radiation and other radiations coming in, to developing my own solar power systems, water catchment, etc. Many other things in my life, like when I was in the Air Cadets a long time ago, we would go out and bush survival exercises. So they would either fly us to the top of a mountain, in float planes, or bus us into a certain point, then we had to hike, snowshoe, trek 20 miles in, and then learn how to survive. The scenario being that you're in a small aircraft in British Columbia and it goes down and you have to survive 3 days. One, for us NCOs, it was actually minus 40 degrees Celsius in the cold. Now, we were in a para-teepee. That's a teepee made from a parachute. So it was quite warm. But you can be the strongest link, most knowledgeable, most capable. But it's the weaker links that's going to snap. I was just thinking about something. I just watched a live Q&A, someone who presents himself as this tough macho guy. Unfortunately, he's going to be the weakest link that's going to snap. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. This video might lead to another video about bugging out. But until then, most people need the comforts and the ease of the system, not realizing that eventually the current system is going to be changed into the beast system, in which they will be entrapped into and will not be able to get out. This brings to a quote in the Bible on the coming days of judgment, when Jesus will say, "I never knew you." As for the ones who do know him and have the faith and the belief, we are going to be persecuted. But before that day of judgment, maybe even just before the first half of the tribulation, as some of you are, I was intending on doing this video. I had the mental notes. But after a brief chat on my Telegram channel, I decided to go ahead. Now is the time. And this is a challenging topic to address. Now, Scripture provides profound insights and guidance on how to handle these struggles. But the Bible also says that we're going to be persecuted by family. There's also a section in the Bible that says some family will kill us. Persecution can be verbal abuse, social ostracism, maybe even physical abuse, which can be very deeply painful and isolating, especially when family disowns you and will have nothing to do with you. Me, for example, simply based on my platform of geomagnetic Earthwatch, someone in my family, not my immediate family, wife and daughter, but my direct family, decided to make a Facebook post calling me a religious fanatic and a big shot. Another person in that family sent me an email accusing me of being a prophet for profit, money, and a messiah. So I have been cast out permanently. So I do know what some of you are talking about. And that kind of isolationism. And that reminds me of what Jesus said or will say. I never knew you. So then you have to make a decision. You may continue to love them and pray for them and hope for the best of them. But you need to continue and prepare for the rest of your family. I fully recognize that when you try and awaken people spiritually, the coming earth changes, geomagnetic excursion, pole shift, I know you're going to be ridiculed. Before the emergence of the Antichrist, so what I say to you now is try to meet up with other people, other geomagnetic earth watchers, so that at least when events start to happen, we know who and where to meet up with, because it's going to come to that point. The only question is, those other people around you, your family, you're going to have to obviously take them with you, dragging and kicking and complaining. So this is why in my province, for example, and I'm trying to find the time to get out and to actually meet with some of you, because you actually need to know the person. They may be in tune with what's going on with the world. But trying to explain it to other people. A few years ago, I had a person live down the lane from me. He was an ex-school principal, ex-RCMP constable, police. So I started to initiate the conversation of the geomagnetic excursion. However, he didn't even know what our protective magnetosphere was. And I just had to stop, man. I couldn't go on any further. I guess this, in part, explains Luke chapter 21, verse 26. That men's hearts will fail them for fear, for looking upon that which is coming to the earth, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. They're not going to have any clue. Nothing. Never mind preparation. Never mind spiritual, first and foremost, but mental, practical, physical. I got arthritis throughout my body's knees and hips and degenerative disc disease of the spine, but I'm out there every morning. I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I do my work on the computer, then I'm out there in the garden. I think I'm improving myself physically. So I'm going to try to get around to my bugging out locations video. So there's bugging out, not knowing where you're going. And then there's pre-prep, knowing where you're going to go and how you're going to get there and who you're going to meet up with. I think this is very important. This is why you need to get out there in your own local area and meet the fellow geomagnetic earth watchers. Use my platform to try and communicate and link up with people. One other thing not linked to this talk. Now, during the pandemic, 2019 into 2020 and 21, have some compassion and understanding that most people in the world had no idea what was happening. They had no idea they were being tricked into taking the substance. The governments, along with the mainstream, had a fear porn campaign to instill fear into the people, that it was so bad. Understand that people had to take the substance because they needed to travel overseas, for example, to see family and loved ones. At that time, they had no choice, so they thought, it's too late. A lot of these people are so sick right now. A lot. If you have anybody in your family who took the substance, watch them very carefully. Take care of them. My family's definitely ill right now. Me? I feel perfectly fine. Not one single symptom because I never took the substance. Anyway. So I do certainly understand the isolationism, the frustration. When you are awake or are being awoken, and first and foremost, you see that we're about to enter to the time of the tribulations, the birth pains, the beginnings of the sorrows. But above all that, the earth changes, what's happening in our planet, and you want to prepare. You want to try and get the word out. Getting the word out in the book of Mark, we are to get the word out. We're not to act like Bible-thumping preachers. We are to get the word out. That in itself, when you try and open up that discussion with family, friends, neighbors, you are going to be ridiculed. Anyway, folks, I'm going to try and get one or two more videos out later on tonight. I'm having some deep thoughts about the weakening of our protective magnetic field, and I suspect developing multiple poles, and the long-term effects of the solar radiation coming in. But anyway, I'll try and get back. That is all, as you were.